Okay, we get it. English pronunciation is difficult, right? Don't worry, all hope is not lost. There are definitely patterns in the English language that you can learn to help you pronounce the words correctly. Hi, my name is Flor, and in today's lesson, I'm going to teach you how to pronounce ed endings in past tense verbs. There are 3 different pronunciations for the ed ending: the id, the t, and d. Let's look at those 3. Ready? Okay. So as a quick review, we know that there are 2 kinds of verbs. We have regular and irregular verbs. In today's lesson, we are only looking at the regular verbs, and that is in the past tense and the past participle. Regular verbs are simply verbs that we add an e or ed to make it past tense. Let's take a look at some regular verbs. Walk, talk, started, visited. All we did with these verbs is add ed at the end to make it past tense. Now let's look at these words right here. Arrived, waved, moved. Notice that for these 3, we only added the D because E was already there. Here's one more kind. So these words right here: studied, cried, carried. When I change it into the past tense, what I did was take away that Y, added an I, and added ed. Therefore, the spelling changed. All of these words that I've shared with you are considered regular verbs, and today's lesson focuses on how to really pronounce that ending with the ed in the past tense. The first category of ed endings is pronounced like this: id, id. It's a very short and unstressed sound that we use to pronounce the ed ending. This is used when the verb in its base form ends with the t or the d sound. Let me give you some examples of when we would pronounce the ed ending as id. Let's take a look at these words. They end with a T sound in the base form, so we pronounce the ed as id. Voted, shouted, waited. These words have the D sound at the end. So, for example, ended, graded, rated. The ed sounds like id, and it's very short and unstressed. Okay, so in order to understand how to pronounce the ed ending in the other 2 forms, you have to understand the concept of voiced and voiceless sounds. So what you're going to do right now is put your hand on your throat and make some sounds. If you can feel the vibration of that sound, that is considered a voiced sound. If you don't feel anything, then that would be voiceless. So for example, let's try the k sound. K. Okay, so now make the m sound. M. Which one did you feel the vibration? So try these sounds. K, k, p, p. You shouldn't feel any vibration in your throat if you're doing it correctly. These are voiceless sounds. Here are some other ones. And I can't forget my favorite voiceless sound, the ch sound. Yes, I have a favorite voiceless sound. Don't judge. So now going back to verb endings, if they end in these voiceless sounds, the ed at the end would be pronounced like the T. So here are some examples. Walked, talked, finished, typed, watched, looked. Here are the voice sounds in English. The like money, like nothing, like like ran, like judge, like gain, like then, like zebra, like buy, and like bring. So if you have a verb that ends in these voice sounds, the ed is going to sound like a d sound. So let's try pronouncing some of these words together. Ready? Opened, listened, toward, mailed, called, phoned, moved, played, cleaned, loved. Now pay attention to those verbs that are underlined and in red. I walked home and changed my clothes after work. I finished my dinner and watched a movie. How are the ed endings pronounced? If you said they're pronounced with the t sound, you are correct. Walked, finished, watched. Ed endings are here pronounced as the t sound. Okay, not bad. Let's look at these two sentences. I needed to study last night, so I turned off the TV. I waited for the right time before I adopted a child. What do you notice about the verbs in red? They're pronounced with the id sound. Needed, waited, adopted. And these are the last two example sentences. I had lived in a small city all my life, so I traveled to New York last year. Number 2, I finally called my friends after a long time and loved catching up. They are pronounced with the d sound. Lived, traveled, called, loved. So there you have it, some pronunciation tips to pronounce the ed endings on past tense verbs. For further practice, make sure that you look in the description box to take a look at the resources that I've provided for you. Don't feel overwhelmed that now you have to go back to all those lists of verbs and memorize every single ending in the past tense. But now that you have these 3 different ways ed endings are pronounced, you're off to a good start. As a new YouTuber, I'm encouraged by your support, either pressing like or subscribe if you'd like to see more videos on this channel. Any feedback that you have, go ahead and put it in the comment section below and I will respond to your comment. I send you my best wishes on your English studies. This is Learning English with Flor. Until next time.